Hey, welcome back to the channel, Vast 13. So I recently did a short, pretty much recommending the new Superman movie, and I wanted to go in depth what I feel about the characters and the story, and pretty much this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, again, I highly recommend it. Go check it out and come back and watch this video because this is your warning. If not, you're going to be spoiled on a couple of things. But yeah, here we go. I do want to say I enjoyed the movie again. Highly recommend it. Um, Nathan Fillion, he played Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and if you know anything about the comics and if you even seen him in cartoons or anything like that, Guy Gardner is a very cocky Green Lantern. He thinks he knows best. He always sees himself as a leader and all that. He's very reliable, but it's just he always thinks that he knows better than anyone. And I think Nathan Fillion did an amazing job playing the character. He even came up with the name of the group. He calls it the Justice Gang, which is such a dumb name, but it works for his character. It's just like the haircut and everything. It was really cool seeing the way he fought. He would make constructs. His Green Lantern's power. He uses his ring. He uses his willpower to create green constructs. Whatever he imagines, he can bring to life. And the way he fought in the movie was amazing. Like seeing him flip over tanks and flipping people off, like fingers would come up and hands would just pop up. It's pretty much just how he would act. He kept flipping people off and flipping tanks with the fingers. It was pretty cool to see. So yeah, I don't have any issues with Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I actually want to see more of him in movies to come. So I thought that was great casting by James Gunn, getting Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Um, the next character I'm going to talk about is Metamorpho. Metamorpho, he didn't have a super long amount of screen time, but from what I've seen, I enjoyed the character. Anthony Carrigan plays Metamorpho, and in it, he seems to be a very sad and depressed person because of whatever he went through that turned him into Metamorpho. But I believe like the pain that he was showing in that movie, like you could feel it. Like he was really upset and pretty much felt hopeless. And his interaction with Superman was the one that kind of gave him some sort of, bring him some hope into his life. But I just enjoyed the acting for it. Like I feel like he, again, another person that did very well. I think that with time and more movies, we can see more of his background, his more of his backstory. But so far, everything that he can do in the movie and his powers were shown very well in the movie. It was really, really awesome to see. The fact that he could like create kryptonite and he can make solar energy to like help Superman. It was really cool to see. Though I don't know that much about the character, so I can't go into too much detail. I honestly know more about other characters, but from what I've seen in cartoons growing up, like Justice League Unlimited, they did a pretty good job bringing that to life. In the movie, there's also like he has a baby, which again, I don't know that much about Metamorpho, but yeah, it was kind of weird to see the baby. I mean, I might have to look more into the character to know, if this baby's very comic book accurate or what it is. But it was cool to see. The other person I'm gonna talk about now is Skylar Gisondo. He played Jimmy Olsen. So, I'm sorry if I'm butchering some of these people's names here, but yeah, he played Jimmy Olsen. I thought Jimmy Olsen was done very well. He seems and this is probably like the only first iteration, though I will say that he seems like super like a ladies' man. Like, and it's kind of funny. I've never really seen or thought of Jimmy Olsen as a ladies' man, but in this movie he portrays that, and it's kind of funny because he's still like the Superman's pal. That's kind of corny and super nice kid, but in this movie they just gave him a whole new side where he's like seems to get girls very easily. And I love his interactions with Sarah Sampiel, who plays Eve Tessmacher, who seems to be a girl that's very obsessed with him. It's a funny interaction between the two. I love their interaction together. I thought it brought a lot of funny scenes to the movie. Um, the other person that I'm going to talk about now is Maria Gabriela De Fario. Again, not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but she plays the engineer. She seems to be. I don't know too much about the character from the comics, but from what I've seen in the movie, it's a former soldier that decided to mechanize their body to help Lex Luthor get rid of Superman. So pretty much her body's like made of like nanites, and whatever she can imagine she can create as into weapons and things like that. It was pretty cool to see, like she could change her hands into chainsaws and blades and just toss it around. It was very, very amazing to see she could turn her hands into blasters. I think they did a very good job with her character. She seems to hate Superman a lot as well. So it was really cool to see. Again, don't know too much about the character, but from what I've seen on in the movie, it was awesome to see her. Isabella Merced, she plays Hawk Girl. I see the thing about Hawk Girl is I grew up with the Justice League Unlimited version, and in that version she had a love relationship with Green Lantern John Stewart, and I love their interaction together. It made me really like Hawk Girl as a character. I don't think that this is that same Hawk Girl. This seems to be a different iteration, so we will just have to wait and see. But in the movie, her character, she seems fine. You know, typical fighting style of Hawk Girl. Everything seems fine. The only thing that I'm not gonna lie got a little bit on my nerves is she kept doing like a screeching, like like birds do, like the hawks do, and it kind of got a little annoying. But I don't know. Maybe if they tone it down in the future. But she did do something that I really enjoyed. It was like there's a president in the movie. He's working with Lex Luthor, president of a country that Lex Luthor is working with. He's helping that president invade another country, and that guy's such a piece of crap. And I just enjoyed how her character just picked him up and started flying, and then the guy's like, "Oh, you're not gonna hurt me. Superman would never hurt me." And she's like, "I'm not Superman. Just drop him." I love that scene. I thought that was cool. Again, we'll see how her character plays out, but I would hope that that they go more into detail. Like I said, if she's more turns out to be more like how the Hawk Girl from the Unlimited Justice League Unlimited cartoon was, I'll end up loving that character. If not, we'll see how they play her out. Rachel Brosnahan. Again, I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but she played Brosnahan. I think Brosnahan is Rachel Brosnahan. I think that's how you say her name. She plays Lois Lane. I liked her. She did very well as Lois Lane. She seemed to push Superman. She played the reporter part very well. She wants to know the story. She wants to go in depth. Like in this movie, it takes place where I guess they've been dating for like just a couple of months, and she already knows his identity. So it's not like that Superman's hiding the identity of who he is to her. But it's kind of cool seeing how they interact compared to if she didn't know. I thought that she did very well. Like she doesn't hold back any punches. Like she's like literally will tell Superman what she thinks, and I enjoyed it. I thought she did a very good job playing the reporter and slash the girlfriend. She balanced the act very, very well. So yeah, I mean, as long as I think her character stays true to that, I don't have an issue with her being Lois Lane. David Cornsweet. He plays Superman. I think he did well. I think he did very good. The only issue that I really had with the movie, as if you would have seen my short, I said I give it a 9 out of 10, and it's hard for me to give it these numbers because um, I don't see anything usually that great. But I thought that this movie was very, very, very well done. The I guess the major problem that I have with the Superman, well, I guess two things, and this is me being a little nitpicky. It's the costume. I wasn't the happiest with the costume because I feel like it was a little baggy-ish on him, so they bothered me a little bit. But I guess that that was intentionally done because they're trying to go for a feel here. Like the movie felt like this is a old school Superman, and so like the I guess they were just going for that old school look. So I get it. But, again, that's me being a little nitpicky. I wish that the costume was like more form fitting. But the other thing too, but James Gunn did address this, is that I wasn't happy that this Superman is very like. I'm not saying he's the weakest Superman I've ever seen, but it's I don't like how he feels like he could do more, and he hasn't. I mean, I don't know if if James Gunn plans on building him up some and then bringing him to those levels that you see in the comics and everything like that. But this Superman seems to be like still learning, very much learning. Like I feel like he hasn't tapped into his full potential. Like he's getting beat down and in situations where I feel like he should be able to catch this and just like dominate and like be able to lift things without much problems. And in this movie, he seems to be not that strong. Again, sometimes it's just done because of plot. You need him to struggle a little bit in this situation because the story needs him to. But I don't know. I just felt like he should be much stronger than what is shown here. So I guess that's my biggest gripe with this Superman, is I wish he was stronger. But again, as the story goes on, maybe he might become stronger. But besides that, I thought he did great as Superman. He seemed very hopeful, very a very happy guy. Like it's like he brings hope to everybody around him. And it just shows how well done his character was, because like if you know about the comic book of Superman, that's the type of character he is. Everybody Batman is a very dark, gloomy character, but like in DC and pretty much all of comics, actually in all of superheroes, like the beacon is Superman. Like that, everybody strives to be Superman. That's why like when Superman died, it was like people were like shocked, and even in real life, everybody's like, what, they killed him off in the comic books during that time. It's a because he brings such light to their universes. So that's what I think he did very well in the movie. Because of that, I felt like he really showed who he is. Like one of like I think like the closest comparison I can give this Superman to is probably Christopher Reeves. How Christopher Reeves was, where he bring such light to his to being Superman. I felt like David did the same thing. Crypto, his dog, which in the movie, I love the dog because I feel like every other iteration of Crypto has been a very reliable and obedient dog that would be awesome to have. But in this movie, it's a superpowered dog with just regular dog tendencies that hops around, does pretty much whatever he wants. And if you think about it, that would be so dangerous, having a dog with the abilities of Superman but just acting like a dog. It'd be very, very frightful in real life. But it worked very well in this movie. It's very enjoyable to have a puppy that acts the way he does in the movie. Like I warned everybody, spoilers. So in this movie, you don't really see too much in trailers or anything like that. But in this movie, Supergirl's in it actually. Millie Alec plays Supergirl, and she just has a small scene. So is I guess it's just like an introduction, and they're gonna probably introduce have her own movie, or just build her on later on in as more movies come out. But from what I've seen, she seems to be the typical teenager character that she wants to go out and party and have fun. And it's explained by Superman that she likes to go to other planets to party. So during this whole entire movie, and if you were wondering why didn't she help Superman, it's because that's what she was doing. She was out partying on another planet and then came back after everything was done. I guess she went to other planets to get drunk, because in other planets where there's like a red sun, in case you don't know Superman's weaknesses, the red sun will pretty much make him like a human. So she likes to go to planets that have a red sun, where it makes her pretty much human, so that she can actually get drunk, because in a yellow sun she wouldn't be able to get drunk. And also we come to find out that Krypto is not Superman's dog, it's actually her dog. So so the way that she is with that dog explains why he is so rambunctious, like how he doesn't listen. It's because she pretty much has not trained that dog. That dog just loves to jump on you, bite you, and just slam you around, and she thinks it's funny. But Superman hates it, and I guess she's the reason why. Again, she you don't see her for very long, but pretty much she has that typical cousin interaction, like a brother sister bond that they have, which she pretty much when she was leaving, she's like, later bitch. She pretty much called Superman a bitch. So it's kind of funny to see. We'll just see how they interact more, but I guess they have like that brother sister loving hate situation. I don't, not real hate, but just like a playful hate. Like I said, it was fun seeing the little scene. We'll just see how it plays out. Another person that you wouldn't know that was in the movie is Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper actually plays Jor-El, Superman's father. You only see him as a hologram in the movie, but we're just I hope to see what he can do. I hope they show more backstory, and there's even comics out there where Jor-El is actually still around. I don't know if they ever plan on making that happen in these Superman movies, but you never know. So it would be cool to see. The other person that was in this movie was Frank Grillo. He played Rick Flag Sr. Again, he didn't have much to do in this movie. He just was in the Oval Office, well, I wouldn't say Oval Office, the government meeting room where Lex Luthor meets up with the government to warn them about Superman, and try to come up with a plan to be able to take Superman down. And they're like, we don't want to do it because Superman is, he's been very helpful, and and as much as Lex hates Superman, he's just trying to convince them, like, hey, you gotta take this guy down. We gotta take this guy down. So yeah, he was in those scenes. Pretty much he was sticking up for Superman, but at the end of the day, Rick Flag, he's he works for the government, so he could only do so much. Like we don't know how reliable he'll be towards Superman, or because he's been involved with like the Creature Commandos. If you've seen the animated stuff on HBO Max, he's on that team, and also he's also been involved with the whole Suicide Squad situation. So we'll see if he ends up being very helpful or not to Superman as time goes by. But from what I've seen of the Frank, he did a good job as Rick. Wendell Pierce, he played Perry White. He didn't have too much interaction, but he played. I thought he played the character very well. Just a typical boss, like, hey, I need this story. Hey, what are you guys doing? Like the typical, boss character that needs the story done as a reporter and all that. But I thought, he did well. We'll see if his character expands more, any type of backstory on him or anything like that. Then another character that was in there was Michaela Hoover. She played Cat Grant. Again, another character that she doesn't get a lot of screen time, but it was nice seeing her, interact with the others, and then maybe she'll get more stories, get more involved in the story. I'm not gonna lie, very 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 easy on the eyes. Very wearing a lot of low cut dresses. It was, you know, I guess they have a couple of characters that are like eye candy in the movies, but yeah, it was cool to see. Um, the other character is that was in this movie is Eddie Gathegi. Again, I might be mutilating this guy's name. Gathegi. He plays Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific was super cool in this movie. It was awesome to see Mr. Terrific being done very well. He shows how smart he is, how he could hack into anything, and how he uses his T spheres to fight. And like I said, he could hack into things, laser things, create a barrier, force fields, and shoot and blast. And how he could use it to like hold on to it, hover around, flip around, and attack all of his enemies with different in different ways. How he could spy on people using his spheres, and it was really cool to see. He did very well. He did very well in that movie. Before I saw this movie, I actually had seen somebody suggest the movie and saying that that Mr. Terrific actually sounded a lot like Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder. And so going into the movie, I was thinking about that, and it's very true. I thought he did sound like Robert Downey Jr.'s character. The way he was like the way he voiced himself, like he's like very the dude, one dude dressed up the other dude, like the way he talked. Like I couldn't unhear it. I thought it was very very accurate, that description of him. But yeah, he was another character that was very well done in this movie. Can't wait to see more of Mr. Terrific as the movies keep going. And there's more characters, but I'm just gonna leave it on this one. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I think this is probably the one of, if not the best Lex Luthor we've ever seen in all of live action, because the way he hates Superman in this movie, very well done. And not only the hate, I love how smart he is. Like they showed how smart he is. Like he creates a pocket dimensions, and like how well he has the technology, and he was commanding this enforcer to attack Superman, and he was giving him a lot of directions. Like he came up with different attacks, like 1A, L, 2B, 3. Like he would just announce it. The person would do it, and Superman would just get beat down. And it was just because Lex Luthor was so smart, he could come up with a perfect strategy to completely dodge and beat down Superman. And it was like completely one-sided. It was very well done. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, amazing casting. In that movie, he also showed how messed up and how much he hates Superman, willing to sacrifice anything and anyone just to get rid of him. And it showed how evil he is, because there was a scene where he kidnaps just a random guy that was very that seems to care about Superman, just a random guy from the street, a vendor from the street. He kidnaps the guy, and when he kidnaps Superman, he wants to get information from Superman, and Superman is not willing to give him any information. So he starts playing Russian roulette with the guy, just putting the gun to his head and just clicking, and just boom, and just blows the guy's heads off for no reason. Like just to torture Superman. Superman is over here trying to give him, he keeps asking for questions, and it was just he only got like the 2 questions, and he just killed the guy and just like had no remorse at all. It happens. He had like zero emotion. So I think Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was awesome. The movie again, very very well done. Like I said, my things that I complained about, very nitpicky type things. I don't think anybody would not enjoy this movie. I think if you did not enjoy this movie, I'm just curious to know what you consider an awesome movie, I guess, or how would you have made this Superman movie better? Because I from the amount of characters that they had in this movie, so many characters in that time frame, and for it to all make sense and move along great. Again, this movie was very well done. Like I said, my thing is just make Superman a little stronger and maybe fix his costume, and this thing could have maybe been a 10. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe, and again, let me know just what y'all think. That's all. Peace.